Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel. Now then, today's video is going to be a review and unboxing of this baby. A bit of a backstory. Mr. Tomley put out a video a little while ago and he said one of his favourite RCs was a little HS buggy 1/18th scale, and it was dead cheap, 35-40 quid. And I was watching it, I thought, oh, I wonder if we can do any better. I thought, what's the cheapest RC that we can buy, or cheapest RC that I can get my hands on that's going to be any good? So one of those bright ideas, I had a scan on eBay and I found this. Now it looked quite reasonable because I wanted something basically fully proportional. I didn't want anything that one of these toy grade ones. I wanted a fully proportional little RC. And I came across this bad boy, $29.99 in the UK. That's $42 for our American brethren. There should be 2 batteries in here, by the way. So it's $29.99 with 2 batteries. It's called the Heliway K Motivator. So there you go. It does look as though it's been shot with something, I must admit, in a couple of places, so God only knows what we'll find inside. But anyway, enough of the waffle. Let's get into it and have a look what we get for $29.99. Now before we go any further, it does say 4-wheel drive, strong shocker roof, whatever that is, high precision bearings, I doubt that very much, multiplayers, I've no idea what that means. It's got a high speed motor, 7.4 volt, and it says here 38 kilometers an hour. I very much doubt it. But anyway, let's get into it. As ever on the channel, you're seeing it's still sealed. Whatever it looks like inside, however it's been sent to me, you will see. I don't hold up out much hope really, because like I say, it's got 2 great big bullet holes here. But anyway, let's get into it. By the way, I've had that colourway. If you have that colourway, it's cheaper. So let's get the lid off. What have we got? Oh, I say. Well, we've got some instructions in Chinese. We've got, well, it looks a reasonable controller. Fully proportional. We'll get into it in a minute though. Now then, we've got a little box here. I think that should be our 2 batteries. Well, there's one. Oh God, look at that. A right fancy looking screwdriver with 2 Allen key bits on it. Battery charger, like I say, a lithium ion battery. Okay, body clips, a few spare nuts and bolts. Right then, let's have a look at the buggy itself. Oh. There you go. It doesn't look too bad really. 1/18th scale, super bouncy suspension. Tyres, let's get rid of some of this crap out the road. Tyres feel quite soft, you know, not really hard plastic. They are still quite soft and rubbery. What I might do with it is take the lid off and we'll have a little bit of a tear down and see what you actually get for $29.99 or $42, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're on. Anyway, let's take the lid off and I'll have a look. Now I'm just taking the battery cover off, which lives underneath, and it does indeed come with 2 batteries. Now I'm wondering if this is a clone or a copy of something else. It does look like it might even be a copy or a clone of a HS, is it 118 something or other? HS 18311 or something. But anyway, I'll take some of these little covers off and let's see what we actually get for $29.99. Right then, now that we've removed its clothes, I can tell you that this is basically a clone of a HS 18302, which probably bodes very well actually, because this is basically the one that Mr. Tomley said was one of his favourite RCs. A few pleasant surprises actually lifting the lid. We've got a 380 or a 390 motor, so we should have a reasonable amount to go. We've got a solid metal centerline drive shaft, and not only that, it sits on proper ball bearings as well. And at this price point, I'm absolutely amazed. We've got a proper 3-wire servo, a little custom sort of ESC stroke receiver there that sits at the front. Probably not going to be very waterproof, so might be worth doing if you're thinking about taking it out in the wet. but it's all there. It looks quite reasonable. Yeah, so far I can't really fault it for £29.99. What I might do is take one of these wheels off and take one of these diffs off and see what's inside. The other pleasant surprise actually is the fact that the tool that they actually give you is reasonable. It actually works, and it's got a little bit for the wheel nuts as well. So at this money I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I don't know if WL Toys are watching this, because the tools that they give you are absolute garbage. Well, I've done a bit of digging and well and truly avoided my warranty. We've got, the wheels are like a 7mm hex, very similar to WL Toys A959. Shock horror though, we've got metal drive cups and they're fully ball raced front and back. So when the packaging says high performance bearings, it wasn't lying. It's fully ball raced. The diffs are ball raced as well, even though all the gears inside are plastic, etc. The only part of the transmission that I can see that hasn't got a ball race is we've just got like a brass copper bush on the end of this drive shaft here. I'm presuming it's going to be the same at the front as well. But it's fully ball raced for £29.99. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. Like I say, all the gears inside are plastic. How long they'll last, I don't know. And there's actually grease in them as well, which is absolutely incredible. The drive shafts themselves are plastic. I wasn't really expecting anything else, to be honest, but I'm absolutely gobsmacked that it is actually fully ball raced. Anyway, let's get this thing back together before anyone sees me. So there's a little fella back together. I thought we'd just check out the transmitter functions before we go any further. Obviously we turn the buggy on. Should have turned the transmitter on first really. Transmitter on. We've got steering trim, obviously to trim the steering up. We've got a steering dual rate, so we can turn it right down. I suppose if you're a bit of a novice or for kids, or we can turn it right the way up and it becomes a lot quicker. We've got throttle dual rate as well, so we can have it right the way down, or we can turn it all the way up. Ooh, blimey. It's obviously fully proportional on the throttle. And on the steering as well, so go slow or as fast as we want. So before I forget, the transmitter takes 4 AA batteries which you have to supply. Now I'm not going to lie, so far I'm quite impressed with this little thing for the money, and if the performance is reasonable, I think we might be onto a winner here. So what I'm going to do is finish charging up the batteries, stick the body on, and then we'll take it for a bash outside, see what it's like. Okay, back inside now. What do we think about Mr. Motivator here? Let's start with some bad points, and believe you me, they're very, very minor. Very, very minor. When I was jumping it, the battery fell out the bottom of the truck, but to be honest, I was jumping it sort of 4 feet in the air. The thing's only 30 quid. I can probably forgive it that. If you put a couple of extra screws in with larger heads, that would probably stop that from happening. Shocks are a bit bouncy, but at this price point, I wouldn't expect decent shocks on it at all. They're not even that bad. I mean, they're just a little bit bouncy. Again, easy to improve. You can get some oil shocks for it. That's not an issue. And again, at this money, you can probably afford to throw a few quid at it, make it a bit better. No issues. Third thing, the motor gets hot because it's all covered up underneath the plastic covers, etc. The motor does get quite warm. And what I'm thinking about doing is, I think it's probably due to the fact that the age range it's pitched against. You know, you don't want little kids putting their hands up underneath the bodywork and touching the top of the motor. So all that plastic around it, I think, just retains the heat. You could sort that out by cutting a few bits of plastic away, possibly putting a radiator on. I think that would pretty much kill that. Good points. It's got 2 batteries. They last about 25 minutes a piece, so it gives you excellent run time. You get a decent little toolkit in it. I mean, I use the toolkit that was supplied with the truck to take it completely apart, and it did it no problem at all. It's the first toolkit I've ever had which has actually worked properly. It took an absolute beating, I'm not going to lie. It landed against that many corners of plant pots and planters. Never missed a beat, apart from the battery dropping out the bottom. It never missed a beat. Nothing broke, nothing fell off. I hit a stone wall with it God knows how many times. It's just tough as old boots. I think it's better than the HS that it's a clone of. I mean, you get all ball raced transmission, wheels, everything, and it's an incredible price, $29.99. It's cheaper than a lot of ESCs. It's cheaper than buying a battery for most RCs. You know what I mean? It's super cheap. I think actually I've found my new favourite little RC. This thing took an absolute beating and just came back for more. I mean, you even get a decent controller with a decent amount of functions on it. I haven't got a bad word to say against this. If you can track them down, this would be my 1/18th scale truck to buy, honestly. $29.99, $42. It's cheap as chips. In fact, I've put my money where my mouth is and I've actually bought 2 more. I will leave a link in the description to where I got it from the eBay shop. They were very helpful, so no reason why they shouldn't be with you. But I think if I was out looking for a 1/18th scale little basher, I don't think you could go wrong with this thing. Would I recommend the 1/18th scale motivator? Absolutely, 100%. Your kids will love it, you'll love it. You can bash it, you can race it, you can do all sorts of things with it. It's quick enough for your back garden, small enough for your back garden. I am genuinely impressed. This is a brilliant little RC. Anyway, if you found the video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button. It makes a big difference to making content for you guys. And while we're here, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who's supported the channel so far and subscribed. We've reached 1,000 subscribers and I'm absolutely over the moon about it. Big thank you to you guys out there, and I'll catch you again soon. Thank you for watching.